nespoutaná touha, čistokrevná vášeň, zažírající závislost, vůně benzínu, koncerty nejhlasitějších motorů, rozhavené plechy nesoucí jména všech novodobých titánů. Je to posedlost závoděním, neskrotný chtíč po vítězství, poslasti z odplaveného adrenalinu, jež je největším přítelem omamující rychlosti. Je to přátelství na život a na smrt. Nic mezi tím. Je to závod, opravdový boj. Již desetiletí vyvíjejí týmy po celém světě své závodní vozy pro nejvýznamnější, nejslavnější, ale i nejnebezpečnější závod světa. Jeho pověstná magičnost je ukryta hluboko v každém z nás. Je pevně ukotvena v genech lidského rodu, skryta v utajené touze každého člověka vítězit, bojovat, ovládnout, posunout hranice zase o kus dál, překonat sám sebe.
Tout se déroule normalement, autant mène la course, c'est à ce moment que la destinée s'en mêle.
Žádný fenomén se nezrodil ve chvíli svého zrození. Neprověřen časem, bez podpory nejvěrnějšího publika. Bez opětovné korunovace by nepřežila žádná legenda, v dobrém i ve zlém. Nebýt osudného sobotního odpoledne roku 1955, mohlo být vše úplně jinak. Do té doby známý závod by byl dále jen známý. Ale osud zasáhl a prověřil věrnost motoristických entuziastů. Věrnost podepsanou krví. Král měl být mrtev, ale nestalo se. Král nejenže přežil, ale jeho zvláštní legenda, magičnost a přitažlivost z něj začala vytvářet fenomén. Fenomén Le Mans.
Mais conformément aux usages, la course continue et la Jaguar belge s'arrête pour ravitailler et changer de pilote.
Le Mans is a very, very special race. It's a complete week, and you cannot compare it with anything else in the world. It's the toughest and most famous sports car race in the world.
Ten závod se dokázal prostě dostat do takové pozice, že opravdu každý, kdo závodí, má tu touhu hojet.
For sure, Le Mans is the biggest race in the world, and to be there and to be racing there, it's amazing. It's a great feeling.
All big names, all big racing drivers, they have been there, or most of them.
Michael Schumacher also, when you ask him which track he like, he will tell you Spa, Macau, and Le Mans. And he keep a very, very good memory about Le Mans.
Le Mans is the unique combination of high speed and endurance. Le Mans is taking a whole Formula One season and race it on one weekend with one and the same car, just changing drivers, fuel and tires. And that's what makes it so special.
Le Mans is quite different to other circuits in that you can't go there other times of the year to run. You have your test day in 2 weeks before the race, which is 10 hours or something. You have your 8 hours in the race week itself, and that's it. So it's quite unique in that respect. The fastest lap can be done normally when it's cooler and when the track is rubbered in. So if the conditions are consistent during the Wednesday and the Thursday, then it tends to be towards the middle of the period on the Thursday. So when you go out on the Wednesday, the track's very green, lacking grip, and usually the Wednesday times aren't the ones that stand unless the weather changes. between the preparation for the night and the day qualifying is the quality of the lighting. I mean, it is possible to do your best lap in the dark, but quite often it's more difficult. You tend to find that the drivers can, with the extra vision, can extract just a little bit more from the car in the daylight than in the dark. And actually, quite often it's just in the dusk period, the first running at 10 o'clock, when it's not quite dark, but it's cooler then, that the best lap times can be done.
We have qualifying from 7 to 9 and from 10 to midnight. And then those 2 nights, Wednesday and Thursday night, they're very short because you go to bed at around 1 or 2 o'clock.
You get tired. If you get tired, you get no concentration. If you get no concentration, you do mistakes. If you do mistakes, you are slow.
Can you look up? Thomas?
Somebody says he's not nervous, it's not true. You are nervous and you feel a lot more pressure than you do in any other race, no doubt. On the other hand, I think for a professional race driver, I have the impression, because I was talking, of course, to other people, and I think it's more or less the same for everybody. As soon as you are in the car, the pressure is gone.
Notre appréciation, elle départ en
qui permet donc de déplacer des traces au sol de liquide aussi redouté que de l'huile. On a ramené l'Aston Martin en tous les cas qui est derrière le module sportif, ça c'est sûr.
In fact, you spend 1 week in Le Mans with the practice, with the qualifying, with everything, and it's not just a race. It's many things. You know, it's a big event. You have a parade in a center of the city.
Year after year, they always come there again, or they live there. They watch the guys, they watch the drivers. They really enjoy that all those people are there. You know, and that's what you feel when you're out there and you go through the crowd. There are, I don't know how many thousands of people in the town center. Friday afternoon, and you know, they are all there to watch the race and to watch the drivers, and it's a great feeling. It's unbelievable. You don't find this in another place, you know.
During the Drivers' Parade, I received the prize for the best petrol car lap time during qualifying, and I'm really proud of that. It's a great result, and also the Drivers' Parade, it's a great feeling to be there. There are so many spectators who wants to have autographs, and to get a trophy there, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, we were very pleased to be the fastest petrol car. You know, we even managed to get in amongst the diesels. We out-qualified one of the diesels, and they tried particularly hard on in the final hours to try and get ahead of us, but they didn't manage that, so that was quite satisfying to see us ahead of a works Audi. The objective of the programme was always to be the fastest petrol car, and we seem to have achieved that quite well.
Le micro dans un instant, on va demander au chauffeur de la 203 de freiner et de serrer peut-être le frein à main. Stéphane, je vous invite à rejoindre. Car rien ne résiste à Michelin. Mesdames et messieurs, bonne à toi. Voici Samba Carré pour cette délégation brésilienne. Encore une belle séquence de Bernard classique.
Crazy thing. I mean, when I did this the first time, you have so many people there, and little kids, they are screaming, you know, they want to have autographs or a hat or whatever you have in your car, you know, a flag, whatever it is, they just want to have it, and they are shouting and screaming, and then it's crazy, really crazy, and they are really enjoying it, every single person there, you know, I have the impression.
Merci. Merci beaucoup.
That was in '97. There was Davy Jones, who in the previous year won the race for Team Joest with the TWR Porsche. And he had an accident. He had a very big accident just before Le Mans and couldn't participate. So it was Stefan Johansson, Michele Alboreto, and then Reinhold Joest came to me and said, I need a third driver. I said, well, I have one. So I was sure he was going to do a good job. So I said to Reinhold, well, I have someone. And I said, what's his name? I said, Tom Christensen.
Le Mans is a big phenomenon. Yeah, okay.
race is coming close. You know, we are coming more and more close to the start. When you go there Sunday or Monday before the race, it's a week, long time. You have time enough, you know. You think the race is so far away. Then Friday night, after this parade, you know, and at the parade everybody is kind of a party atmosphere, let's say, and you don't feel the pressure for a while, you know, maybe an hour or two, depends on how long you are around in the city center. And then when you leave this place, when you go back to the hotel, you realize, oh, now it's the last night, you know, you do have another, I don't know, 8, 10 hours of sleep. You have to get up early in the morning, and the race starts tomorrow. It's the pressure. It's this strange feeling in your stomach. You know, you're maybe 6, 7 hours before the start, and so the pressure and this strange feeling, it gets worse and worse. So you have the warm up, the last chance to check the car whether everything feels good, and hopefully it does, and yeah, and then you're just waiting for the race start.
Le Mans 6 times? To win 1 time, it's already a big dream. So to win 2 times today, 3, you say there must be a mystery sometimes. 4, kind of a miracle. 5, 6 is like playing the same number in the casino, you know? The good thing about this motorsport and records is there is always somebody who can beat you. And the wrongest thing is to think that it will be a record forever. Now you have, for example, Tom Christensen. He won 7 times. It's perfect. That's the way it has to be. Maybe tomorrow he will be the winner for the 8th time. We don't know. Motor racing, you never know about it.
Regarding the pressure before the race, we have a lot of pressure. So if I talk about this year, I was on pole and I start the race. So it's big pressure. I like to have pressure because if we don't have pressure, we are not concentrate 100%.
you will see that there's a lot of traffic on the toilet on Saturday, you know, because for some reason everybody drinking a lot and you have to bring it somewhere, you know. So then you realize they all have the same problem. They're all a little nervous, and it will start in a few hours. You know.
International Space Station, Expedition 17, Commander Sergei Volkov and flight engineer Oleg Kononenko.
obrovský fenomén a zároveň obrovská droga a jako každá droga, tak to stojí strašně moc peněz. Majitel privátního týmu, my se na to musíme dívat tak, že musíme na to ty peníze sehnat a spousta lidí se na to zadluží někdy na celý život. A vlastně, když se dívám na ty závody, tak vidím za prvé to hezký výsledky, vidím prostě třeba i úspěchy, ale na druhou stranu počítám každou pneumatiku, počítám každý díl, který se rozbije a při bouračce samozřejmě první vás napadne, kolik to stojí peněz a o kolik peněz jsme zrovna přišli.
První věc je ta, že když vidíš, že to auto už nemůžeš kontrolovat dál, vždycky se snažíš z každého smyku se snažíš bojovat až do poslední chvíle, tak abys to vybojoval. Ale když už vidíš, že opravdu to nevybojuješ, tak co já dělám? Já se nadechnu a vlastně snažím se zapřít do sedačky co nejvíc, aby ta bolest byla co nejmenší.
I think it's much more safer, but it's still a bloody sport because it can happen in any situation.
Myslím si, že právě Le Mans je jeden z nejnebezpečnějších závodů, ať už to je tím, že se tam dosahuje takových rychlostí 350 km za hodinu na těch rovinkách a těch tam je několik během toho jednoho kola. A taky tím, že se tam potkávají 4 kategorie vozů rozdílných rychlostí.
The Lola Aston Martin proving very quick and a misunderstanding there by young Jan Charouz. It is the Charouz Racing System car, but he outbraked himself completely there, flew off at the Dunlop chicane.
V momentě, kdy jsem začal brzdit, tak to auto ztratilo ten přítlak a vlastně ztratil jsem kontrolu nad zadní částí vozu a v ten moment se auto otočilo a vlastně couval jsem jakoby do bariéry.
Když jsem tu bouračku viděl, tak já jsem si myslel, že tam nesedí Honza, že tam sedí Štefan v tom autě. A nechápal jsem to, protože prostě Štefan chyby nedělá. A když jsem pak viděl, že je v tom Honza, tak mi bylo úplně jakoby, nebylo mi vůbec dobře.
We were lucky that that the mechanics were able to repair the car so fast, so we can continue, we were able to continue. And in a 24-hour race, you never lost your chance.
V Le Mans je vlastně nejdůležitější, když se cokoliv stane, tak dojet do boxu, aby se dalo pokračovat dál, protože nikdo neví, co se stane těm ostatním, nikdo neví, jestli bude pršet, jestli prostě nebude zastavený závod. Prostě ten, kdo věří a ten, kdo do toho dá všechno, tak má šanci prostě dojet dobře.
The point at which the car crashed, my first concern was obviously, is Jan okay? And the minute we realized Jan was okay, then it was the next question was, you know, is the car still moving? Can he drive it? Because if the car can't drive, the rules at Le Mans are you are out. If you can get the car back, even if it's got, you know, 1 or 2 wheels missing, if you can get it back safely to the pits, then you can repair it and continue in the race.
První pocit asi je pocit zklamání, ale ne zklamání sebe, ale spíš celého týmu. Když si představíte všechny ty přípravy, všechny ty peníze, co se do toho vkládají, všechnu snahu prostě celého týmu připravit to auto tak, aby ten závod dokázalo objet a vlastně potom je to na vás jako na jezdci, abyste ten závod objel a tím, že jste v nějaké kolizi, tak prostě zklamete nejen sebe, ale i všechny ostatní, který do toho dával nějakou energii. Na tom je, když sedíte v těch boxech a to auto opravdu, že vidíte na těch televizích, jak se to vaše auto v těch pozicích propadá a prostě modlíte se, ať je to co nejrychleji co provinně, ať můžete zase jet a stíhat ty přední příčky.
Well, fortunately, the LMP1 cars are, relatively easy to repair. There was a full nose section and the rear floor, the rear wing pillars, and numerous other parts. But it took quite some time. I can't remember exactly, but something like an hour. But the guys worked really hard and did a very nice repair, and the car was good after that.
To bylo strašně super, jak vlastně ten celý tým věřil, že zase se to opraví a že prostě z 56. místa začneme znovu. A my všichni si mysleli, že ještě můžeme vyhrát. Prostě a to bylo fantastický.
So just to give you an idea of when you say 360, what the hell is 360? 360 is exactly 100 meters per second. And you have done 100 meters.
This is also something we all said. I mean, one day if we are not going there as a driver anymore, we would probably like to go and be on the other side. It's a great event and you have so many people there. It's a big party for 1 week,
So when I've been at Le Mans, it has only been a driver, and I look forward also one day to be there as a fan and as a spectator.
Já závodím 35 let a takový závod, to je prostě fantastický, jak to fascinuje lidi na celém světě, jak závodníky, kdy většina bohužel těch závodníků nemá možnost se toho závodu zúčastnit, tak slavní lidi, který to přitahuje jak bejka červený hadr. A já třeba obdivuju osobně Paula Newmana, s kterým jsem měl možnost několikrát mluvit na závodech, že on prostě jako taková osobnost hereckého světa prostě udělal úplně všechno, aby se zúčastnil a nejenom zúčastnil, ale aby dojel. A i ty lidi, co s ním jeli, tak to prostě byl hvězdný tým.
Le Mans pro fanouška je obrovský závod, ale taky jedna velká party. Tam jezdí stovky, tisíce Dánů, tisíce Holanďanů, spousty Angličanů, jenom proto, aby přijeli v úterý na závody a od úterka do té neděle, než odjíždějí, prostě tam proteče tolik alkoholu, že si to nikdo nedokáže představit. Takže pro nás závodníky je to skvělý prostě adrenalinový závod před obrovským publikem, 250 000 lidí, ale pro to publikum je to jedna velká zábava, jedna velká party, u který vidí i ten jakoby největší závod na světě.
What do you feel? £10, €10. You fucking pervert! Stop it! Fucking stop it now! Stop it now! Pardon.
This is the time, this is the place, the race, speed of the pace, pushing a mile, dreaming it out.
In fact, it's a different feeling when it's dark, because somehow you feel more alone than, I mean, you're alone in the car anyway, but at nighttime it's dark, you are sitting in the car, and you really have the impression you are out there on your own. You are in bed, you sleep, and suddenly you wake up and you realize, you were touching the brake or the clutch or whatever, you know. So you realize that all your body, everything is so focused on what you were doing for the last few days that even when you are sleeping, your body is still, or maybe your brain is still in the car, you know. But everything, you still have the reactions and everything, you know. Suddenly you are shaking, you are steering, you are braking, you are still in the car somehow, you know. And this happens during the race.
The night is actually, I feel that at night everything is a bit more quiet. And of course, the longer you go into the night, you also see there's less spectators. But from the purely performance, you're concentrated and you have this kind of tunnel vision. You have only the minimum you want from your engineer. And so the radio communication is as little as possible. You just want the rhythm and you want to know, sometimes you will then ask of lap times of different competitors, just so you can make yourself comfortable at the highest level possible. But everything is a bit more quiet and it's a bit more unique and special at night.
každý, kdo na krev jel na dlouhých tratích, každý spíš ztratí, než aby získal to, za čím šel.
During the night, and this can be, it's really very incredible when it goes well, but in the wet it can also be your biggest nightmare. So it's a combination of that, always on the edge. And I think driving at Le Mans, I think Mario Andretti said, when everything feels or seems under control, then you're simply not fast enough. And I can only say in my years at Le Mans, it never seems under control. You're always pushing, and trying to make an advantage, and then maybe trying to feel comfortable. But it's always too short. You have to push for the 24 hours. It's a sprint race, but just last a bit longer.
55 on the grid, which were supported by Michelin. This meant for us that 8,000 tires were brought onto the track. We need to be prepared for 24 hours of rain, 24 hours of dry, 24 hours of cold and hot condition, because it can change a lot. Each year we try to have less and less, because that's exactly our target.
Le Mans is a unique circuit. It's a very special place. It's a huge engineering challenge, because to run a car and put just fuel in the car and add tyres, which is what you need to do to win there, and have it run flat out for 24 hours, that's an enormous challenge. And then for the drivers to drive for approximately 8 hours each in a 24-hour period, again, that's a big challenge as well. So yeah, a unique event.
It's always easy to make a mistake, but when it's wet, in a way you never know, do I come back or do I end up somewhere in the barriers? In wet conditions, it's really, really difficult. It's slower, of course, but really, really difficult.
Finish first, you have first to finish. And this is very difficult to finish in Le Mans.
Le Mans is the most difficult, most interesting and most important sports car race in the world.
And I think it holds a very, very special place in motor racing history.
Le Mans is the unique combination of high speed and endurance.
Le Mans is the obsession of the season.
Le Mans is taking a whole Formula One season.
You work for Le Mans, you think for Le Mans, and this is your obsession.
You can win in the last minute, you can lose in the first one.
We try to take some risk with the choice and the strategy to keep the lead of the race and try to beat the OD and win the race. In the same time, we had some problem with the cooling radiator. It's a big shame because when we made the total of the time we lost in the pits, we lost 10 minutes more than the OD, and 10 minutes it's free laps in Le Mans, and that means and we finish almost one lap behind the winning car.
V královské kategorii prototypů se odehrál souboj desetiletí. Přestože Peugeot měl všechny předpoklady k tomu, aby svrhl nadvládu Audi, nestalo se tak. Ani pole position a mistr světa Formule 1 nepomohli Peugeotu k senzaci. Jacques Villeneuve tak nezískal poslední skalp, který mu v jeho kariéře schází. Skončil hned pod stupněm nejvyšším.
Yeah, for Jacques Villeneuve, the target was to win Le Mans because he already won the 500 miles of Indianapolis and the Formula One World Championship, and Le Mans is a race he won't win.
V kvalifikaci nejrychlejší benzinový vůz Aston Martin týmu Charous Racing System nakonec po těžké havárii a následném stíhacím závodě předjel 39 soupeřů a dojel do cíle na neuvěřitelném 9. místě. kategorii LM GT1 se nakonec radovala stáj Aston Martin Racing, která po nelítostném boji porazila legendární korvety a pevně se usadila na trůnu nejrychlejších GTček. V hodnocení LMP2 zvítězila nizozemská posádka prototypu Porsche RS Spider, která tak dala vzpomenout na rekordních 16 triumfů německé značky v absolutním pořadí. V kategorii LM GT2 vyhrála posádka na voze Ferrari 430. Jezdec Mika Salo to označil za velký den pro Ferrari. Fenomenální Dán Tom Kristensen naopak posunul lidské hranice o kus dál, když si dojel pro své 8. vítězství, které bude jen těžko někým překonáno.
Le Mans is about Le Mans is Le Mans. You work for Le Mans, you sing for Le Mans, and this is your obsession.
So this is Le Mans. Le Mans is everything.